Okay, part 4 of me retelling the most problematic storyline ever. So Allie's happy with Lon and his cotton money. Noah's over here threatening to people over this house. And Allie is trying on her wedding dress and she sees Noah's picture in the paper with this house. And she faints and she's like, what am I gonna do? I have old cotton money that I'm engaged to. And then there's this random guy in Seabrook I was with that one time for 3 months. So she tells her fiance she gotta go take care of unfinished business, and he's already suspect. I know he comes from cotton money, but justice for Lon. So Allie drives down and she goes and sees Noah, and they do this can the exes be friends dinner thing. And Noah's like, can you come back tomorrow? There's this thing I want to show you that's definitely not romantic. And Allie's like, okay. And then she goes back to her hotel. And this is the 40s, mind you. So her fiance has been calling the one hotel in Seabrook, and it's been very obvious that she has not been there. He's like, we good? And she's like, yeah. And he's so suspect, he knows everything's going on. So Allie comes back the next day for this definitely non-romantic thing that Noah wants to show her. And he takes her out to the lake with a bunch of ducks. It rains, they laugh, and then they do the do. And then Martha comes over the next morning and she stays all day. Like, I still to this day want to know, like, what did Martha, Allie, and Noah talk about all day? She just comes over and she's like, hey, is that woman that you were in love with? And then they hang out like all day. So instead of going back to her hotel, Allie stays with Noah. And this is very obvious to her fiance because he's calling the hotel and Allie's not answering. So now the fiance is like, what the fuck is up? And he goes to the dad, and the dad's like, well, there was this fling when she was 17. There was this guy who worked at the lumberyard. And he's like, what? I gotta drive down and get her. And the mom's like, not before I do. None of this is on camera. So the mom leaves before Lon, and she gets to Noah's house. And that's where we pick up. So mom knocks on the door. Noah's gone to go get breakfast, but Allie's there and she's naked. And she just answers the door naked and it's her mom at the door. Like, she didn't know it was gonna be her mom. And her mom's looking at her like, God damn it, you're my daughter. And then Allie plays the victim. Like, she didn't just cheat on her fiance. She doesn't know what to do. And then her mom's like, I know you better than you think. You're my daughter. And then the mom takes Allie out to the steel mill where she shows her teenage trauma bond. The mom's like, sometimes I come out here and I stalk my old trauma bond. And I think about what my life would have been if I chose the trauma bond instead of the money. And then Allie's mom drives her back to Noah's house, gives her all the letters that Noah wrote a long time ago that she never got. And then Allie and Noah fight about the fact that they just did the do, and Allie plans to go back to her fiance. And Allie goes to her fiance and she tells him off camera that she's going to choose Noah. And then they live happily ever after until Allie gets dementia and then decides to write all of this trauma in a notebook and tells Noah to read her back all this trauma so that she can remember him. And then they eventually die together. The end.